Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This week's video is about my trip to New York City that I took in October of 2016. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is part 1, part 2 and 3 will be uploaded in the next 2 weeks. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
I'm in a New York state of mind.
Okay, so yeah, I was on my way to New York City at long last. But first I had to stop in Dubai for a layover of about 7 hours long. But when I landed in Dubai it was already nighttime, so you couldn't see much of the city. I left Dubai at about 2:30 that morning, so I was quite exhausted and slept through quite a lot of that flight. Landing in New York City on the Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, it was quite cold and cloudy as it was autumn in New York and it was getting closer to winter. Driving to Manhattan from the airport, you could see the city in the distance. Over there, that is lower Manhattan covered in the clouds. These are just a few photos of the New York City streets that I took throughout of the trip. The one thing that I don't think I would forget is driving out of the tunnel from underneath the East River into Manhattan. Just that feeling that I've dreamt of being in those streets for so long, and there I was in New York at long last. The hotel that I stayed in was about 200 meters from Times Square, and I was too early to check into the hotel, so I decided to start exploring immediately and went to Times Square. The fact that I stayed so close to Times Square meant that I spent quite a lot of time over there. There's so much to see, so you don't actually realize how much time you do spend there. Up there you could see the ball that drops every New Year's Eve. It was quite smaller than I thought it would be, but it was still cool to see. As you could see, for a Sunday afternoon it was quite busy, but it looked like that day in, day out, every day of the week. Even the traffic, it doesn't matter if it's Sunday afternoon or Friday afternoon, it looks exactly the same. This is where they record the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. This is the Rockefeller Center and the Rockefeller Plaza. Down there you could see they were preparing the ice rink for the coming winter months. Another thing about New York City is that there is quite a lot of ice rinks throughout the city in different parks, including Central Park and Bryant Park. This is Radio City Music Hall. It was also quite close to where I stayed. Okay, so the Monday morning after I arrived in New York, I was awake at about 3 o'clock in the morning due to the wonderful thing called jet lag. So I decided at around about 6 o'clock that I'm going to go to the Today Show, or to the studios where they recorded the Today Show. I got to see all the hosts that I always see on social media, including Matt Lauer and Al Roker, Savannah Guthrie over there. I also got to see a few celebrities like Abigail Spencer, or as she's also known as Dana Scott in Suits. I also saw a few others, but I'll talk about them in next videos. This is St. Patrick's Cathedral. I did go into the cathedral a little later on in the week, so it will also be in the next videos that will come. Yeah, I just walked past as it was close to where they recorded the Today Show. This is all still part of the Rockefeller Center that we saw earlier on in the video. That was the sound of a fire engine. It sounds like that throughout the day, every day, and it echoes through the buildings in the city. Once again, that was the Rockefeller Center and the shops around the center. There's St. Patrick's Cathedral. These are just a few photos of the streets in the city. Here we are back in Times Square. That is the famous McDonald's, and in the background you can see Aladdin on Broadway. This is Carlo's Bakery in Times Square. I went in and I bought myself one of their famous cannolis and a brown. As you can see, the streets are always very busy, and over here we are at the New York Times. This is Madison Square Garden, and that is the Empire State Building. Madison Square Garden is a stadium that many artists have sold out in the past. This is the High Line. It is a public park that stretches over 3.6 kilometers throughout the New York City streets. It is an old railway track that they restored and made into a public park. It is elevated above the city streets, so the views from the park is quite beautiful. You can see skylines on the one side, and on the other side you can see the Hudson River. This is how they park their cars in New York City, due to the fact that there isn't space for parking garages as we know them in South Africa. Once again, this is Madison Square Garden from the front. Over here you can see the Empire State Building that I went past on my way back from the High Line. Here you can see how tall the building is, but you really don't get the effect on the video about how big it actually is. That's Bryant Park. And yeah, this is the NYPD base in Times Square. Those are a few Broadway theaters. I did watch a Broadway show, which I will talk about in the next videos. This is the studio where they record The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. As you can see here, the streets are always as busy as it is on this video. You would think in movies they get extras, but they don't. This is Carnegie Hall. This is in Central Park. As you can see down there, they are also preparing the ice rink in Central Park.